Alrighty, gang. The old guy is back in the squat game. This felt pretty good today.
Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Today is Sunday, April 24th, 2022, and it was a leg day. It is a leg day for me, and my last leg session that I did record, which I'll link up here in the corner if you want to look at that, it was titled Hard and Heavy Leg Day. And it was a hard and heavy leg day. And I just wanted to, and I mentioned in that video that I was going to re-implement barbell squats into my leg sessions, which I did today. And this was more of an experimental kind of thing. Well, not really experimental, but I went into it slow and sure. Wanted to see how it felt. Just want to get back into it under a controlled fashion. And so I started out with a bunch of warm-ups and got into 3 working sets at a much lower weight than I was using when I stopped doing barbell squats 5-6 months ago. And I stopped doing them because I had a little hip niggle, a little hip problem. That has since abated, and today I got to tell you the movement felt great. My shoulders felt great, my elbow felt great, and the low back barbell squat that I do, everything except the weight felt heavy, and it was, like I said, it was a much lower weight than I was using. It did feel a little heavy, but I'll attribute that to my diet that I'm in at the moment. I got a little fat cutting diet that you may or may not know about, but that's may have contributed to it to a degree. But anyway, it felt good. So let me show you what I did, along with some other work I did, some other leg work I did after the squats, and I'll show you what I did today. Then we will catch back up in a few minutes, as we always do, to wrap it all up. So let's go do this leg day.
Alrighty, first thing I want to do is give my buddy Hector there a little shout out. He was with me for today's squat session and most of the rest of the leg day. It's always good to get a young man's perspective and support, so thank you, Hector. Now, as we watch the last 2 warm-up sets here, I did a total of 4 warm-up sets, by the way, 2 with just the bar and 2 with this 135 weight, just to see. I was really curious to see how this was going to feel today, because I haven't done squats in 5 or 6 months, and I wanted to make sure everything was feeling right, and it was. My hips felt good, my shoulders and elbows felt good, so that was encouraging. And the goal today was to reintegrate barbell squats into my leg session in general, and along that line to establish a nice baseline from which to progress from. And my goal was to do 3 sets of 5 reps at 225, just to see how it felt. I felt like that was a good place to start. And this is my first set here at 225. I wanted to establish this as a pretty low weight and go into this new squat routine in a controlled, judicious fashion. I want to make sure that I focus on form. I want to make sure I focus on depth, and I want to make sure that I'm integrating the entirety of this really excellent compound movement. And that's one reason why I felt like I really needed to include barbell squats into my leg day, because of that compound movement and the integration of so many muscles, and the fact that I feel it helps with balance. It helps integrate the nervous system. There's just so many positive aspects that I think help older folks as they're training. I think it's just a really good strength movement, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing this in a very cautious, controlled manner to get the most out of it I can. And to be honest with you, today I felt under control. It felt good. The depth felt good. It's just that weight felt a lot heavier than I anticipated. But I'll attribute a little bit of that to my diet that I'm on at the moment. But all in all, I got a good 3 working sets at 225, and I'm going to go from there. So that was a positive start for today. I'm happy with that. And then I finished up the rest of the leg session with some hack squats that you see here. Matter of fact, I did 3 sets of these. And believe it or not, these were a little harder than they would normally be for my the leg work I've been doing lately, because I had the squats. There's 3 sets of squats under my belt already. And speaking of belt, by the way, before anyone mentions it, I know I wasn't using a belt. Because remember, I had my belt stolen a while back. I'll have to get a new one. And maybe get some squat shoes too. Lifting shoes. But at any rate, so I did 3 sets of these hack squats here. And I believe I did 3 sets of 12. And I wanted to go as deep as I could on these. Well, I bottomed it out anyway, just to get a full range of motion. And these felt good too. They really did. There was a lot of work, but they felt good. And this machine here is kind of funky in that the back is at an angle where I constantly feel like I'm going to slip off the back of it. And every time I do it, I have to really fiddle with my foot placement to make sure I don't feel any knee stress on that. Now, today I didn't feel any knee stress today on this. This felt really good. But as I said, it was a lot of work. 3 sets of 12 reps here, which I think is a good thing to do after some squats at a heavier weight, lower rep count, more of a strength movement in the squats, going into a more of a hypertrophy movement with the hack squats. So I think this worked out well for me. And what I did on this last set is, and you'll see it here, at the end of the 12 reps, I focused on my left leg just to get some partial movement, partial reps, because and that's the other thing with the squats. It really focuses on my right leg more than my left, so I have to make sure I get enough leg work done after the fact on the left side. And then I did 1 set here of this hack squat machine. I'm not even really sure what you call this, but I think I did 10 or 12 reps here. I don't know. But again, I bottomed the machine out. I wanted to get as much depth as possible. And this was a lot of work too. And after this, I did some hamstring work. I did 3 or 4, actually did 4 sets of hamstring work, leg curls and whatnot that you've seen me do before. And some leg extensions. I did 3 sets of leg extensions and 1 set of just body weight lunges just to get a final burnout. But this was a good start on my re-implementation of my squats. I'm happy with it. And I do want to say thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate that. I appreciate the visit. And as we sign off here on this, I just did 1 or a few partial sets here at the end just to get the left leg a little bit more work.
Alrighty, there we go. Leg day for Sunday, April 24th, 2022. Re-implementation of barbell squats. Now, I am going to, in the next week or 2, re-implement some deadlifts too, but I'm going to be very careful about that because I believe that's where my little hip niggle came from. And probably some more of my strength movements like overhead press, for example, and barbell rows. So it was a good day. I felt good about it. I've got a really good starting platform now at the 225. I'm happy with that. So there we go. So that's all I've got today. I think tomorrow is going to be chest and shoulder day. And that's it. I really do sincerely appreciate you taking the time to visit with me today and hang out with me. Thank you very much. I know I get a little long-winded sometimes, but that's the way I am. But I do appreciate you being here and sticking with me and all the support and everything that comes along with you fine folks. You guys and gals are great. So with that, I will say, until next time, go get 'em. Mark out.